Hi everyone, Nigel Saunders here. Today I'm going to be pruning up my powderpuff tree. I've let it grow really long and it's time to prune it back to get it more compact. Here's a look at the tree. So a lot of these branches are kind of weeping branches. It's kind of a spooky looking style. It's not an upright kind of style on the tree. So I'll continue that theme, trying to get the branches to weep and make it an interesting looking tree. There's not a lot of ramification on the branches. Where I pruned it, just one kind of leader grew. It didn't really ramify much. So I'm hoping when I prune these long shoots off or back that it'll stimulate some of these leaves that are further back on the branch to grow into branches. That's the goal anyway, to get it a little more compact and fuller looking. Okay, I'll begin the pruning. So on this branch, I have a leaf here and one here. I do have some leaves further back that I could prune too, but I think that would remove all this new growth totally. I'd be going back to some old leaves on the part of the branch I pruned before. So I think I will take it back to here, leaving a bit of a stub for dieback. This branch I can take back to at least here, and I may prune some of these further once I've got it all pruned up. This one I can prune back to here. This branch at least to here. This one at least to here. I have a super long branch out the back here. It's very, very long and vigorous. So I'll prune it off to here. And I have a very long branch here that's kind of cascading down. And I'll prune it back to here. In the apex of the tree, I don't think I need this branch unless that is going to be the leader of the tree, of the apex. I've got an upright one here and one kind of coming forward. This tree is kind of, if you look at it from this view, it's kind of, the trunk line kind of leans back and then it comes forward again. And it's always been a bit of a problem styling this tree. This was the front, and I don't like the way it goes back and then forward again. And some of the other views, there's a lot of scarring. I had to take off some major branches. There's a lot of big scars on the tree. And they're healing nicely, so the front could definitely change in the future, and I'm sure it will. Like here is a pretty good front, right in this kind of a view. That way the curvature is, more sideways. It's not going back and then forward. Yeah, so I think somewhere here is where I should plan for the front of the tree. So I'll mark that. Oh, I've got a wire here. I can put it over here, marking the new front. And I'm just taking a look to see if there's anything better. If this were the front showing the curvature, this branch comes straight out at you. Whereas this view, I don't have anything coming towards you except maybe up in the apex a bit here. Yeah, so I think that should be the front, and I will prune it up accordingly. So I've got this branch, it's kind of crossing the trunk line, so I can prune it back to this leaf. So here I go. And this one I can prune back to here. It opens up the front of the tree a bit. I notice I have a couple of dead branches here. I guess they didn't like the last pruning. I guess this took over and that's too bad. Lost some good branching there. Well, I'll just prune them back shorter in case they're alive. I don't think they are, but keep it for now. I have an upright branch here, which I don't think I need. I'm going to take that off. And I have some cleanup to do here. Like that. Clean this stub up. That one. And I have, this is very upright now. I'm not sure I like that. I have, you can see this branch, it comes out and divides. They're staggered, but it divides from 1 to 3. There's one out the back and 2 here. I could take out this middle one. It's very straight, and then the end of it shoots upwards, keeping this kind of twisty cascade part. I think that would look better. So I think I will take out that middle branch, which is kind of, you know, pretty major cut. Here's a look at that branch. So from above, if I clear these leaves out, you can see it comes and it divides. And I kind of have 3 branches coming off. So I was thinking of removing this middle one. That would clear up space for these other 2 branches. So I will do that. So I'll come in and take it fairly flush, leaving just the collar there. Okay, here I go, big cut coming up. Done. Taking that branch off. I think that looks better. It clears up that branch quite nicely. So let's have a look from the front now. There's a look from the front, and that looks much better. Both of these branches cascade quite nicely. And it doesn't look so congested in that area. Now the other branch on the other side, it has quite nice movement here. This part is quite straight where it divides. It's not perfectly straight, but it's fairly straight. I think I could take off this upright shoot here. There's a couple of shoots here. So this one. Small branch, and this one. Keeping my cascading branches. This is very long. There's no branching back here. I'll clean up my stubs. There's a lot of stubs from the last time I pruned it. There's also a branch emerging from this junction here. I'm going to take that off. It's growing out the bottom. There. So there's the front. This back branch cascades quite nicely. It's quite a interesting looking branch. So there's that dead section on the bottom I'm going to take out. Yeah, it was totally dead. There's a stub I can clean up here. Now, just seeing what's going on here. I've got one cascading branch that's really going down below the lip of the pot. I could prune it back a bit further. So I'll take it back to here. I don't know if I'll get any branching in this area. I haven't had like any major back budding on the tree. You know, I haven't had shoots emerge from some of the older wood. So I'm a little reluctant to hard prune it. But it may be, you know, someday I may have to do some hard pruning on this tree if it just keeps getting too wide and spreading. Okay, so I'm looking at the apex now. So I've got one branch coming forward, and then this one's fine, but it could be brought back more compact. So I will. It's not very flowing, that branch, but it's the best I can do. And then off here I have a leaf back here, so I can take it off here, kind of reducing the height a bit, keeping this branch coming forward. I'll just clean up some stubs here. There's a stub here I can clean up. Stub here. Okay. There is a bud here, a new branch forming, which might be a better apex in the future, but for now it will stay like that. There's a stub here I can clean up. And I think this one needs a bit of cleanup work. That's not too bad. Yeah, a lot of scars here, but they are healing over nicely. Yeah, a lot of these branches are just getting so long. I'd like to hard prune them back, but I'm reluctant. I mean, there are sort of buds popping out here and there. I think it's possible that they will back bud. But I think, you know, that's got it fairly compact. And I'll see what happens. See if I do get some more budding somewhere on the tree. But I don't think I'd want to take it any further back than that, unless maybe this branch. That could come back. I have some leaves back here, so I'll take this one back. Yeah, I think that's about all I can do. Yeah, so there is the front of the tree. Let me show you it from eye level. Yeah, so there is a look at it. Yeah, there's a lot that can be fixed in the future. I'm not happy with this branch. It's very straight, coarse looking. This branch is quite nice, and you know, the trunk line's quite nice too. Yeah, I think it's a matter of just letting it grow, recover, and just see what I can do to it in the future. Definitely clean the pot up a bit and do some weeding. So I'll just pull out some of these weeds. Good, I got it by the roots. So this tree uses a lot of water. You have to keep it moist at all times. If they dry out, they tend to just die. And it likes warmth, sunlight. The leaves fold up at night, and it gets the most beautiful flowers on it. Okay, it is weeded. So I'll give it a water and then it can go back on the bench. Here is what is left on the tree, and here is what I took off. So quite a bit of foliage. Okay, here I go with the water. And it's always watered really nicely, so it's not root bound. The water, it just flows through the soil really well. Never pools up or anything. There, it's coming out the drainage holes now. So I've added a little bit of fertilizer to the water. Always constantly feeding the trees with a little micro dose. That seems to keep them really happy. Okay, here's a final look at the tree. I'll spin it around. So here's the front, coming around to the right hand side, to the back, left hand side, and back to the front. It is now halfway through August, which means I've got about another month of good growing conditions for the tropicals, and then it starts cooling off. So we'll see how the tree reacts. I'll put it on the bench here in the full sun and see how it does, and I'll give you an update towards the end of summer. So that is all for today. I'm Nigel Saunders. Thanks for joining me in the Bonsai Zone.